Hi lovelies, welcome back to UG Update. So guys, on this video I'm going to be talking about the Soulmate series guys, and we're talking about quite an interesting episode that will be coming up in the Soulmate series. Guys, the episode is quite very interesting, so please don't go anywhere. Watch the video to the very end as Sayali shares her doubts with Sachin. But before I continue to the video lovelies, if you are yet to subscribe to UG Update, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget guys to give the video a thumbs up. Alright lovelies, let's dive straight into the video. So guys, the episode starts with Renu asking the bandits to give the shop Mahurat. Then bandit says I will match the Kundalis first. Tejas then talks to Roshni while Sayali calls Shobha and talks to her. She tells about Tejas and Roshni. Then Sachin comes and hears Sayali, while Juhi says Teja's marriage will break soon. Sayali says yes, she showed she is mature, but I felt she is a liar. She turns and sees Sachin. She then ends the call. She asks when did you come? Then he says when you were backbiting. She says I was just telling the truth. He asks her about Roshni and then she says Roshni felt I'm a maid, so she said I'm egoistic. He says, oh really? How did she look? You should have scolded her. What can I do? She then says, ask Tejas, he is going to marry her. He asks, did she wear blue dress and have long hair? Then she says, yes. How do you know? He says, I have seen her. I was going to drop a ride. Then I saw her dress but couldn't see her face. Something is wrong. Tejas has made a story. I think he has the money and he disappeared with this girl. So she says, I don't know. A girl helped him on the day of his accident. She is that girl. I find it fishy. When Paresh asked about her family, she said her family lives abroad and she was scared. Akash then comes and jokes on Tejas, while Tejas says he is my younger brother Akash. Roshni says sorry, she is my friend Vidya, while Akash asks her about her Dubai address. Then Vidya says Roshni and her dad have issues, so he didn't come. Akash then says sorry. Then Bandit gives the Mahudrat. Renu asks Paresh if he is okay with it, but Paresh says okay, while Sachin says something is wrong with the girl. Sayali says yes, she wasn't telling the truth about her family. Shanti then gets the grocery, while Sayali says I will help you. She asks Shanti to teach her cooking on the traditional stove. Then Shanti agrees, while Sachin then comes. Aaji says, I made tea for you. Sachin hugs her and then she asks, how is it? He says, it's great. I feel so light. The tea is world class. Renu makes horrible tea like poison. Aaji asks, doesn't Sayali make tea? He says she makes it well, but not like you make. She says, girls these days don't prepare food. You are lucky to get Sayali. I told you, she is Annapurna. Sachin then says, my friends are waiting, I will go and come, and then he leaves. While Riya hurriedly rides the scooty and hits a lady. Akash helps the lady and then he follows Riya on his bike. He stops her and goes to scold her. She argues with him and then he says, you have hit a lady, come and take her to the hospital. She says you are from her gang. So he takes the scooty keys. She asks him to return it and then he asks her to pay the hospital expenses and they both argue. She says, I will call the police. Then he says, okay. A man then comes and asks, is everything okay? Then she complains about Akash. The man scolds him and then Akash says, I will handle this, you are mistaken. While the man asks him to give the keys. A lady then comes and tells the man about Riya hitting an old woman. The man scolds Riya. But Akash says, I will handle her, thank you. He says her to give the money, else he will call the police. But Riya then gives the money, and then she says, I will not leave you. He asks her to catch him first. While in another sense, Sayali makes the food on a traditional stove. Aaji smiles seeing her, while Sayali says, I want to grind the spices on the stone. Aaji asks her to come, while Sayali grinds the spices. Shanti then says, you teach me whatever is necessary for running her house. Then she goes to Sayali and says a married woman should have her control on her husband. She advises Sayali, Then Aaji says, I want to see children of all of my 3 grandchildren. Sayali then asks, why do you stay alone here? But Aaji says, I'm not alone. I'm born in this village. Everyone takes care. Shall I leave my fields and come? Then Sayali asks, how do you handle this alone? Then Aaji says, everything gets handled on its own. One has to solve own problems. It's easy. Sayali then says, I wish I could become like you one day. Then Aaji says, you will become better than me. Sayali then says, you have to come home. While Aaji says, I can't come there. I'm born here and I will die here. This is life's truth, right? I can't stay with Renu. I'm living in peace here. Then she asks, where is Sachin? Go and call him. Sayali says he forgot his phone here. Then Aaji says he is like that. He used to roam around in the entire village in childhood. Then Sayali says, I will go and call him. Then Aaji tells her the route, while Manta asks Riya what happened. Riya says, my mood is off. Joy asks what happened. Then Riya tells about a guy insulting her. He asks, how does he look? Then she says, I have his bike number. She messages him and then she says, no one insulted me. Make sure you don't let him go off easily. He has to say sorry. Then she asks Mamta to get coffee for her. Joy finds out and says that bike is registered on Sachin's name. Their address is of Paresh's address. Then Mamta says he did this when you demanded him to apologize. So he says Paresh has to pay for this. While Joy calls Paresh and asks him to come. Renu asks why is he calling now. Then he says maybe he sanctioned the pension. I will give the money to Sachin. She gets upset. Sayali likes the village life, but she meets Kaki and helps her in rotating some big wheel. The children ask her to play with them, but she plays with them. Sayali then meets some ladies and asks them to teach her to carry the pot. They like Sayali, and then Sayali thinks Aaji has much name and respect here. I will also earn love and respect from people one day. The lady then says Aaji chose the right girl for Sachin. Sachin then talks to his friends, while they say wives control their husbands. Sachin then says one should not give much freedom to the wife. But then, Sayali comes and hears them. Sachin then says, I will not change. They say Sayali will change you. They laugh, then Sachin says they won't. Then Sachin says this won't happen. Friends always stay together in joy and sorrow, and I won't leave you all for my wife's sake. Wow. Guys, it's quite an interesting episode. What do you have to say about Sayali and Sachin on this episode, guys? Please drop what you think about these two on this episode. But before I go, guys, please don't forget that this is still UG Updates. In case if you are yet to subscribe to UG Updates, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget, guys, to give the video a thumbs up. Alright, lovelies, that would be a wrap. Thank you guys for watching up to this point. I really love you guys, and I'll see you guys on my next video.